Hey all, thank you so much for continuing to subscribe and watching my PhD vlog channel. This is going to be my last update for 2023. It is December 31st, and what a year 2023 has been. Um, for those who are here and alive and breathing, we made it, um, and just condolences. And for those who haven't. Um, For me, this was a year unlike others that I've experienced, mainly because of being in my PhD program, being a full calendar year in my PhD program. It's been 18 months. I've completed 3 semesters. I have 5 more classes before I'm done with my coursework. And I can focus on my integrated paper. 2024 is shaping up to be a number of really great research and writing experiences for me, which I am very, very fortunate with. I enjoy the lab that I am a part of and the people that I get to work with. And I have found a phenomenal community in my PhD program who just keep me going when I just don't feel like going. And it's challenging. It's challenging. As I mentioned before in previous videos, it is challenging dealing with transitioning from being working full time, being a practicing librarian, and doing all of those things to being a full time PhD student. And there's many folks I know who are doing their PhD alongside working full time, and I give them an incredible amount of kudos. I probably wouldn't have survived that process. I know myself well enough. Um, but I think for me, and I'll be a little rambly, I actually had, I was going to do a PowerPoint presentation. I was going to be like really well structured and like, and I was just like, I don't have the patience. Like I am as barefaced, as honest and rambly as I'm going to be until I feel like I've made my point and that I am going to go on and continue celebrating the last year of 2023. Um, I think for me, it has been a year of revelations in the sense, and academically and personally as well. Um, as I've spoken to many confidants and chosen family and friends and support system over the course of this year in particular, realizing that I need to stop putting so much time and energy and effort into others who don't want it, who don't appreciate it. Um, and quite frankly, they just take and not reciprocate anything in return. And there was something that I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. I'm going to look it up on my phone. And that my phrase, my motto for 2024 is that if it doesn't serve me, then it's not for me. If it doesn't serve me, then it is not for me. That can mean people, place, thing, no matter what it is. Um, and also realizing that like I'm a survivor, but I don't always want to be surviving. There's at a point that everybody should be thriving. Um, and for me, it's taking the steps necessary and putting into place boundaries, um, working with the current diagnoses that I have, and putting things in place that's going to help me be successful in the long run, and recognizing when you've been in survival mode, when you've been masking, um, when you've been trying to survive in a world that was not built for you, you have built up this incredible fortress and armor and tactics necessary just to survive. And so part of that for me is acknowledging what those are, working on them, um, and helping others work on them too. Um, I have gone through dealing with other people's financial issues that has impacted mine, dealing with academic hazing, dealing with the loss of a friend, as well as dealing with some recent health issues. And so I would say my messages to you all um, is really um, choosing you, choosing you. Um, I think for me, at the end of the day, I really want to be able to have a life um, that makes me happy. And this may seem very positive, abstract, etc. Um, but I am typically sometimes the person that looks at things as the glass half empty. I acknowledge toxic positivity and the fact that we are constantly forced to show up in ways that we don't want to show up in. Um, and it's also recognizing that for real, life is short. Life is so short. Oh my gosh. Um, and it's hard. It is so hard. It is so hard to live. It is so hard to exist, you know. And it's hard to show up constantly, consistently, show up in a space and in a world that constantly challenge your every presence in almost every space. To do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Um, and be kind to yourself. As Kenny would say, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind to yourself. That is something that I'm learning to really and truly embody, to exhibit, um, to acknowledge that some of these things is really core and necessary. For those who are thinking about pursuing a PhD program, whether they're full-time in addition to their full-time job or like part-time in addition to their full-time or just being a full-time PhD student, is really thinking about the end goal. I have about like 2027 is when I should be done. Um, and it seems far away, but knowing that we're going into 2024 in less than 12 hours, um, it seems a lot closer. Um, and for me, wanting to go into academia and find a tenure track position, which is going to be like finding Waldo, uh, um, there's a lot of things that I already have. There's a lot of things that I need to gain. Um, and there's a lot of in intricacies that exist, complexities. Um, but the core thing would be making sure you have a support system and identifying people outside of academia that you can trust. Because academia is not my life. It's not the first thing. It's not the second thing. Um, I'm dedicated to finishing. I hope I will finish. Um, in my research interest, not interest, but like as I learn more and I gain more skills and I collaborate with others, um, I'm able to drill down into things. I'm able to think about things differently, do things differently. Um, and it's been great for the most part. When people ask me about my PhD program, my coursework is the least of my worries. It's challenging, don't get me wrong. Many late nights working on assignments and asking folks to review the stuff and do all that jazz. Um, but it's definitely something where so I've been on Instagram a lot too much. And I need to cut down on it. Um, but one of the biggest things for me, taking from like all the things that I've watched over Instagram over the year, um, is that not only is life even more challenging and kind of impossible nowadays, finding people to trust and to love and support you is becoming even harder. And I'm fortunate, but I've also worked hard to build the relationships that I have in all aspects of my life. Um, but I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Um, it's been a joy reconnecting with folks, reconnecting with myself, just getting to know who I am without all of the strategies and tactics and masking that I needed to do to survive. Anyways, I feel like this is getting along and that I am repeating myself. Um, but as Trisha Hershey says, that rust is resistant. Grief is something that some people have to deal with more than others. And grief manifests in a lot of different ways. But to remember that there's somebody out there that cares for you and that loves you. And I'm looking forward, maybe I should not say looking forward to 2024. 2024 is going to be here. We will see what 2024 holds in store. All I can do is focus on me and mine and do the things necessary that I need to do. So thank you once more for subscribing. Congratulations to us. We've made 3 semesters in 18 months. And I really hope that whether you go to sleep at 10 p.m., whether you stay up to bring in the new year, whatever it is that you decide to do, I hope that you have fun and you enjoy yourselves.